The Carolina Hurricanes have signed Nikolaj Ellis.
Nikolaj.
Nicholas.
I actually don't know how to pronounce his name, but if people have watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they get the reference. I know you haven't gotten that far in the show, but somebody is laughing at this joke. I know you are. Thank you. Done. Okay. You want to talk about sports?
Yes, I want to talk about sports.
You want to get a real job? You want to talk about sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
All right, sports it is.
Welcome to Tony's Upset. I'm your host, Tony Cinelli, along with my co-host, Gianni Cinelli. How are you, Gianni?
I'm doing really, really well today, Tony. How are you today?
I am fantastic.
That's awesome.
So, I know usually my brother Gianni would ask me, what am I so upset about? But today, he has something that he has on his mind that he wants to talk about it. Gianni, would you like to tell them what's on your mind? What's getting you so upset?
So, for those of you who are unaware, I am a big soccer fan. I pull for a soccer team called Tottenham Hotspur. They're an English Premier League team that gives everyone heartbreak and chronic sadness. Now, we won a European trophy a couple months ago, so I was elated and over the moon. However, we've had a complicated offseason. Tottenham just lost the UEFA Super Cup, which is when the winner of the Europa League plays the winner of the Champions League. And they played phenomenally against Paris Saint-Germain, and they were up 2-0, and then they actually allowed Paris to come back into the game. They tied it, it went to penalties, and Tottenham lost. It was one of those games where it's just a preseason game that doesn't matter if you lose it, but if you win it, you think it's a big deal. We lost it, it sucked, we moved past it. We've won our first 2 games of the season, one of them against Man City, which is a huge, huge deal. However, the real reason I am upset is that Tottenham Hotspur needs an attacking midfielder. They need a 10, and their starting attacking midfielder got injured, and he'll probably be injured for the entirety of the season. That's James Maddison.
Okay.
Yeah, James Maddison is absolutely one of my favorite players, but he was the type of guy that's great, but he can't play the whole season. He can't play all 60, 50 games in the calendar year. We needed a second guy to come in. But then James Maddison got injured, and now we kind of feel like we need 2 guys to come in. So we've been trying really hard to get an attacking number 10. And we had our eyes locked on this guy called Ezebretse Eze, who plays for Crystal Palace, or at least used to play for Crystal Palace. And that's where the pain and suffering comes in. Eze has been playing for Crystal Palace for quite a few years now. He did, however, come from the youth academy of our greatest rival, Arsenal. We were talking to Crystal Palace about signing Eze. Eze wanted to come to Tottenham. We had personal terms agreed. We had the contract laid out. Everything was agreed in word, but not in written paper. Crystal Palace was just putting the final touches on signing the replacement for Eze. And then at the last minute, Arsenal said, yeah, we'll pay about the same price. And Eze said, yep, I'm going to Arsenal instead.
Oh, wow. So what happened with him? He wanted to play at Tottenham. Why did he choose to go to Arsenal?
So Tottenham has Champions League football. Crystal Palace has... It's actually really complicated. So there's 3 leagues. There's the Champions League, the Euro League, and the European Conference League. Tottenham just won the European League, and these happened during the Premier League season. Do you remember the NBA lock-in tournament that happened during the season?
Yes,
Same concept.
Yes.
But the thing is, the best players want to play in the Champions League, or at least Europa League. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup with Eze, which means that they qualified for the Europa League, but their owner also owns a team in France, and that team made it to the Europa League too. And because of some other sketchy things that happened in the background, Crystal Palace got kicked out of the Europa League and down into the Conference League, which was absolutely shambolic. I think that was totally uncalled for and unnecessary. But because of that, Eze wanted to leave and go to a bigger team in a bigger market, get paid bigger wages, and compete in the Champions League. And Tottenham we have a great coach, we have a great team, we just won a trophy. We're an attractive team to play for. So Eze was like, yeah, I don't mind going to Tottenham. Listen, my childhood, I was an Arsenal fan, I was in their academy, but I'll go to play to Tottenham. Because earlier in the transfer window, it looked like Arsenal was going to come sign him, and then they kind of got cold feet and they walked away. But at the last minute, hours before we were about to sign this guy, Arsenal comes in and they took the transfer from us. And he just got unveiled a couple hours ago. Well, we're recording this on a Saturday. I watched him walk out of the stadium and clap in an Arsenal jersey, and I almost lost it. I am furious.
Who do you think Tottenham will go for instead then?
So, a lot of my sources, and by that I mean guys on Twitter that I follow, like Nathan A. Clark, we're looking at a guy, I think Monaco. There's a couple good options out there. Nico Paz, who plays for Como in Italy. I'd love to see that happen. Bilal El-Khanous at Leicester City. Great attacking mid. There's some good options in the market. The issue is whether or not the owner of the team will spend the money. And it's not a question that Daniel Levy, who's functionally the owner, not necessarily the owner, but the guy in charge, if you will, kind of like the commissioner of the team, maybe. What's the word I'm looking for? The GM?
GM, yes.
Kind of like the GM of the team. I don't think it's a question that he doesn't know how to spend money, but he's a little too slow to spend the money. So let's say you were selling me a player and you said his $50 million is the price tag. Daniel Levy will come to you and say like, hey, $45 million. What do you think?
No, absolutely not.
Totally understood. You said 50. I respect that. 45.5 million.
No.
45.5 and 10 cents. And this is, listen, I'm kind of making it up, but this is kind of the vibe.
I would go do 47, maybe 47 and a half.
Yeah, but the thing is, the vibe that Tottenham fan gets is that we're kind of like, hey, we'll pay you the 50 million, but it'll be 20 million now, 10 million later, 10 million when your grandchild has his first bar mitzvah. Like, it's this complicated mess in which, like, the negotiating just doesn't work for Daniel. And I have a lot of respect for Daniel Levy. He built a beautiful stadium for Tottenham, but I am quite upset that this deal fell through. But I think he cares about the team, Daniel Levy. I think what he needs to do, though, is, because Arsenal's really embarrassed him here, he's got to come out and make a statement signing. Our all-star, Heung-min Son, got a little older. He's aged a little bit. It was the right time for him to leave. He'd been at the club for 10 years.
How old is he?
He's about 32, 33.
Okay.
But in soccer, that's pretty old. He's now playing in LA, which would be amazing for him. I'm so happy. I really hope I'm able to see him if they play against Charlotte. The thing is, with Sonny gone, we needed someone that could replace him as far as star power and image. And I think Eze would have really filled that role. I would love to see Tottenham go out and buy a guy for 60, 70 million.
So who do you think is Tottenham's star right now?
Oh, man. Okay, so Christian Romero, he's a center back, so he's a defender, but he plays for Argentina, and I think Messi went on record saying he's the best defender in the world. Christian Romero is a spectacular defender. But because he's a defender, the star power isn't really there. Richarlison, I think, doesn't really have that star aura about him, but he is the striker for Brazil. That's a really big deal. Dejan Kulusevski, who plays, he's a Swedish winger, phenomenal player. But these are guys that, like, you don't know, but you might know who Sonny is.
Who are you expecting is going to be the star, though?
Okay, this season, I think the breakout star is going to be Lucas Bergvall, maybe, in midfield. I think
Are these defensive guys or offensive guys?
Bergvall is kind of like a box-to-box midfielder. He does a little bit of everything. Okay. I think the star, if I had to put money on it, it's so hard because our best goal scorer is Brennan Johnson. But aside from that, he doesn't do anything. He is a passenger in every game. But I love Brennan Johnson. He's the one that scored the goal in the Europa League final. You and Dad were watching with me.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. But I mean, the hard thing is they're a team filled with great players, but there's not one that, like, I want to go put my name on the back of my jersey. If I had to give you an answer, Kudus. I think Kudus, he's our new attacking winger. He's really good. He's really disciplined, but he's also fun to watch. He's fast. He's got a great cross on him. He can score goals. I think he's going to be the one to watch for this season. But on the topic of this season, just to give a quick update for the Premier League that Tottenham plays in, I think the Premier League is going to be a challenge this year.
Would it be a challenge for Tottenham or just in the Premier League in general?
So, I don't think Tottenham's going to win the league. I think they're playing well, but I think there's too much money in this league, and I think the teams that are spending like it's going out of style, they're the ones that are going to do the best in the league. So I think a team like Manchester City will probably win the league. I don't
Really, Manchester? Didn't Tottenham beat them today?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you did. I thought you were about to say Manchester United. No, Manchester United's a bit of a mess, as is Chelsea, I think. I think Chelsea's going to be surprisingly bad this year. They'll still have great games, don't get me wrong. They just beat West Ham 5-1. They're a great team, but I think they have too many players on their team. That being said, Manchester City, yeah, we beat them 2-0 today. I'm curious. I mean, Manchester City might end up having a bad season, but I really do think they can win the league. And if not, it'll probably be Liverpool. I don't think it will be Arsenal, and I don't think it will be Tottenham. But if they did, I'd be the happiest person in the world.
One last question. What are your expectations in Tottenham? Where do you see them?
For the season?
Yeah.
With a new coach in Thomas Frank.
Oh, I did.
And a transitionary year. So, we're getting new players in. We're installing a new system. I mean, we just beat Manchester City 2-0. We almost beat PSG. And we beat Burnley 3-0 in the first game of the season. I mean, we're doing pretty well. So, yeah, I think a top 10 finish is at least a minimum. I think a top 4 finish would be spectacular. I really do. And that, I think, should be the goal this year. Learn the system, play well, avoid injuries, and do our best. And have fun, honestly. Aside from that, Tony, we've talked about the Premier League.
Yes.
We've talked about Tottenham. And I have talked a lot.
Yes.
I want to hear you talk about the Johnny Walker fight. What happened there?
Yes. So there was a fight earlier this morning in Beijing, China.
Was it Beijing or Shanghai?
Oh, Shanghai. I'm just thinking about Beijing. I don't know. Shanghai, China. And yes, there's a UFC fighter named Johnny Walker. Yes, we did say not the
drink.
Not the drink.
Was
the
that
fighter.
A bourbon? Yep. Okay.
Yes, I think so. He went into enemy territory and was a 4-1 underdog against a guy named Zhang Mingyang.
So, Jing Mingyang is from China.
Yes.
And Johnny Walker went to China as a 4-time underdog to fight him.
Yes.
So he lost, right?
No, he did not. He knocked out the guy in the second round. He got him with some leg kicks.
Yeah.
And the guy stumbled, fell to the ground, and Walker finished him up in the second round.
Johnny Walker, is he a known entity? Had you heard of him before? Are you familiar with him?
Johnny Walker. I actually had him winning the fight with the.
That's interesting. I actually had Johnny Walker in my Coke the other day. But the different type of Johnny Walker. Please continue. You had him winning?
Yes.
Interesting.
See, because Jamie Young, he's a new face, a new guy, but he has, and to get to your question, Walker, he's fought some of the best guys. He actually fought the champion, Mahomed, in his division, Mahomed and Goliath, twice. One was a no contest, when he got finished. Walker, like you said, 30 in soccer, in 32, 33, that is past. But, in UFC, 32 is literally like your prime, 33. So he's getting up there, but I just thought his experience was more of why I thought he was going to win.
So I know this happens a lot with guys. Is he one of those guys that's in his early 30s that the UFC will kind of feed up-and-comers? Because if they win, it's like, yeah, this guy's been in the UFC. This is proof the UFC works. He's a vet. Of course he won. And then if they lose, they'd be like, oh, see, this guy that's on the up-and-come-up, he's really good, I mean, I can't tell you how many of my friends or people that I've watched, are in that situation where they'll have to fight the guy that's coming up in the UFC,
Yes, and like Walker was on a 2-fight losing streak, both by brutal knockout. He got knocked out, so he had to fight this guy. Like you said, Walker, is a veteran. He's been in the UFC for like 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some staying power.
Yes.
Well, that is awesome. I mean, I don't sports bet, but man, if I would have known, I think it's also just crazy to go to Shanghai and fight someone from their hometown there because, I don't know, I guess this just happened with Poirier too, though. I mean, losing in your hometown, that sucks.
Yes, it is.
And I saw the guy he fought. He was a big dude.
Actually, Walker was bigger. Walker's like 6'7", and the guy he fought was like 6'3", and Walker had like a 7-inch. I think I read like a 7-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a fair fight actually, because oh man, that's an extra 6-inch reach. That's insane, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Walker won that fight. Are there any other big fights coming up that we need to be aware of?
Not really.
You were telling me they're going on break, actually.
Yes. Oh, no, on pay-per-view. There are some fight nights, but there is 1 and 2 weeks in France. That could be like a title eliminator for the new champion. I know we were talking about UFC 319, and last week there was a new middleweight champion. Khamzat Chimaev won the middleweight title over Dricus du Plessis.
Yeah.
Now in 2 weeks, there's I thought it was the number 1 contender spot between number 1 ranked Nasruddin Imavov versus 6th ranked Kyle Biaro. But the UFC just announced another big fight that could be in contention of the middleweight championship between
Reiner, the winner?
Yes, Ryder the winner.
So Anthony Hernandez is going to fight Ryder the winner?
Yes.
In Vancouver, October 18th?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of a big deal.
It is.
Now, what's the fight that's happening in France? Or do you want to talk about this one first?
So the fight in France, which is in 2 weeks, it's like I was saying, the number 1 ranked guy versus a guy who's on a 7-fight winning streak.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's in 2 weeks. But this fight, the winner, he was a 2-time champion in a different promotion. He's coming up, and he's ranked number 5 in the world.
Okay.
And and a lot of people have hype in him, and they're thinking maybe he could get the next champion. He's taking on a guy named Anthony Hernandez, who's on an 8-fight winning streak.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yes. So Dana White said the winner of they're going to choose whoever wins the palest fight between the Marlborough and the Bihario, or the winner between the winner and Hernandez. They're going to come together and see who had the more impressive win, and they can fight Khamzat Chimaev.
Okay. So, just to be clear, out of those 4 fighters, you've got only 2 winners in that fight.
Yes,
I mean, technically, I guess you have a no contest or whatever, but that doesn't count. Whoever does best out of those 4 fighters will get a fight Khamzat.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I got it. Okay. So, who do you think's going to end up fighting Khamzat? Who do you think's going to be the best out of the 4 of them?
So, I've already been looking over blah, blah, blah. So, in 2 weeks, I have Kyle winning the fight.
Okay.
Who? His name's Kyle Biharo. He's fighting Nasruddin for one of those title shots.
Yeah. I got you.
You know, Kyle's on like another big winning streak.
Whenever you mention UFC fighters to me, Tony, you could just be making up names. That's the funny thing. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, name the people you've just named to me.
Nasruddin Imavov. He's Kyle Biharo.
Reiner de Reader.
Ryder the winner. And
Anthony Hernandez. I can say that one. Matt Frivola.
Our
cousin-in-law?
Yeah.
I think that's the right way of putting it, right?
I'll go with you.
Our cousin is married to Matt Frivola, who is by far one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony, we've talked some soccer. We've talked some Johnny Walker. Let's talk Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, absolutely. So the Carolina Hurricanes, they've been a really good team the past few years. You know, they have made it to the conference finals 2 out of the 3 years. They've been coming up, you know. They went through some dark years, but I was saying to my brother, they have made it to the finals. They've almost there, but they're like the Buffalo Bills.
That's cold. They keep on losing, huh?
Yes. Getting swept by the Florida Panthers this year.
So what have they done to improve their team in the offseason?
They pick up Nikolai Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets, who made it to the second round of the NHL playoffs.
I'm pretty sure the Panthers, LOL. I'm pretty sure the Hurricanes also tied down Jackson Blake to a longer contract, which were really good. He's a good young forward, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
They also picked up a good defender from New York, right?
Yes, they did. Defender Condre Miller from the New York Rangers.
Yeah, he had a really good season. I mean, he was first among Rangers defensemen and 10th, actually, in the entire NHL in takeaways. Second among Rangers defensemen in hits and blocks. I mean, the guy's good, and he's coming into his prime. I think these are good pickups. Do you think this is enough to kind of push the Hurricanes to the next level as a team?
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
We have the talent.
Do you think you'll go to a couple games this year?
Yes,
Absolutely. I think that'd be awesome.
I think so too.
And you know what? If the podcast blows up, maybe they'll have you on the siren. You know?
Yeah,
Maybe celebrity
yeah.
on the siren. I think that'd be cool.
I would love that.
I mean, hey, just so y'all know, all the people that are coming in and supporting, the podcast is doing well. We're really proud about where it's going. We're getting good listening numbers, and the sky's the limit, I think. Right, Tony?
Right.
Awesome. You got anything else to share today?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Tony's Upset, a sports podcast fueled by autism and brotherhood. Goodbye, y'all.